Okay, I'm here with part 2 of the Attitude Era Episode 3 Wrestlemania 14. So we basically have 3 more matches to conclude. This should last me. Obviously won't be going for the full 15 minutes here, but I'm hoping to talk a little bit more about the 3 last matches on the card. Overall, so far the show has been good. Like, there's not been any. There's been 1 or 2 standout matches, not anything great. Like, obviously, as I said, the Rock and Shamrock match should have went at least 20 minutes. Like, I'm really angry with that. Like, but and again, WWF. Actually, I think they did screw up on that one, but obviously it didn't harm them in any way. But sure. So we go on to the next match, which is for the WWF Tag Team titles, which will be introduced into a dumpster match between Chainsaw Charity and Cactus Jack versus the New Age Outlaws, Big On and Road Dogg. I have to say this match was pretty good. I must say I'm going to give it 3 3/4 stars. First ever dumpster match in the history of WWF. And I must say it wasn't too bad now. There's some wacky stuff now, to be fair. Absolute wacky stuff. Started off with obviously they all just basically just killing each other. It was basically a killing each other type match. I really enjoyed it now because obviously I'm a big fan of Mick Foley. Terry Funk now is just fucking crazy. I like the New Age Outlaws were one of my favourite tag teams when I was younger. So like it was basically a dream type match. Obviously some great stuff. Cactus Jack misses Road Dogg by the dumpster and he flips onto the dumpster. It looked painful now, to be fair. Then obviously Terry Funk gets backdropped into the dumpster. That looks sore. Road Dogg then Russian leg sweeps Cactus into the dumpster. Funk hits Billy Gunn in the head with a I think it was like a tray. That looked sick. Road Dogg hits Funk with the tray, hits Funk, and then pushes the ladder with Gunn and Cactus Jack on the ladder. They fall into the dumpster. One of the best spots of the match. Gunn power bombs then Funk into the dumpster. This is another fantastic spot, I must say. Like Terry Funk and Cactus took some serious bumps in their life. Like you have to give them credit. Like I don't care what people say about hardcore wrestling. That is just as good as taking a fucking any type of bump in wrestling. Then the Outlaws they're all backstage then basically. Cactus Jack DDT's gone onto a forklift. Then basically Terry Funk then basically gets Billy Gunn into the forklift. Obviously Cactus put Road Dogg into the dumpster and basically just lifted him into the dumpster, closing it off and locking it in. So they get the win and become the WWF Tag Team Champions. So it was kind of a good way for him to kind of bow out because Terry Funk was about to leave the company. Obviously the next night on Raw they lose the WWF Tag Team titles then to Billy Gunn in a steel cage match. That was obviously, I think, it was kind of coming towards the end of Terry Funk's there in WWE. He's there for what, 5 months nearly. So like he was wrestling a lot of hardcore stuff. So overall it was a good match. 3 3/4 stars. I really enjoyed this match. This was kind of, there weren't any great. There was only one great match on the card, but still overall the other matches were extremely watchable. But better than the last couple of WrestleManias because I've watched a few of them. So next match then is the match everyone basically, I think, if you're a fan of the big man matches, was looking forward to Kane versus the Undertaker. I'm going to give this match 3.5 stars. I think it wasn't great now, to be honest, it wasn't, but still obviously the build up and all that, like building up Kane, like obviously all that worked off. It started off with Pete Rose was going to introduce both men. Basically he takes them mick out of Boston basically and their baseball team, and the fans been saying you're useless, you're crap. And basically Kane comes out and he was about to introduce Kane. Kane comes in, basically tombstones Pete Rose. The crowd goes fucking ballistic. You'll never hear a pop for Kane so well in his life. And he was basically a heel at this stage. Basically Taker comes out then to a fantastic entrance. Both of them came out with great entrances. Kane dominates this match, I have to say. Kane killed the Undertaker in this match. Kane chokeslams Undertaker at least 3 times in this match, and all the time he gets 2 counts. Taker did 3 tombstones. Like the first 2 were shit. Like in all fairness, they weren't proper tombstones, but the third one was for the winner. But Taker does his usual suicide dive at WrestleMania, but he misses and goes straight through the announcer's table, the Spanish one. And basically, Undertaker chokeslams Kane for 2, and then gets him up and gives him the tombstone. Basically, gets 3. So overall, And then after the match, then Paul Bearer is starting to attack Taker. He goes to tombstone him. Kane gets him up. Tombstones Taker right onto a steel chair. It looks an absolute epic tombstone. Kane actually tombstone Taker as well in this match. And he only got 2, so it was overall, it was an okay match. Like, it was good. Like, it was probably the second best match on the card. I'll give it 3.5 stars. It was in, like, the crowd were kind of dead though at some parts in the match. Like, yeah, fair enough. Kane looked brilliant though, I must say. Like he's not the best. He was never going to be the best in the ring. Look at the size of him, like. But like athletically, he's not bad. So like just wrestling wise, he could have been a bit better. But sure, we can't have it all. The next match then is for the WWF Championship between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I thought this match was actually great. I thought a lot of people give it 3 to 3.5. I'm going to give it 4 because I liked the rivalry. And basically, you know what I'm giving it 4 stars? Because Shawn Michaels worked his fucking arse off. He absolutely worked his arse off. You have to admit, like, to come in with a broken back, and basically perform a very good match. Not his best ever match, but still, definitely he's definitely top 20 or 25. Like, you have to admit, like, this man has balls to go out, like, with a back injury, and then to deliver so well. Like, it was a good match. Stone Cold, he basically put over Stone Cold. Austin gave him a serious backdrop onto Triple H. Like, his back bounced off the floor. Like, I'm surprised. I thought the match was going to end there. Obviously, the referee gets rid of Triple H and China, so it's just Mike Tyson as the enforcer. They are fighting up by the stage. HBK Irish whips Stone Cold right into a dumpster, which was a bit ugh. Then Austin pushes HBK over to the ropes onto the table, basically punching him. HBK backdrops Austin into the ground and hits him with the ring bell. That was sick. HBK gets the figure 4 leg lock on Austin, but he gets out of it. Then Michaels with his patented elbow sets up for Sweet Chin Music. Austin counters it. Michaels counters the stunner, and he counters the Sweet Chin Music. Austin then gets the stunner. Tyson comes in and gives the 3 count, obviously showing that Tyson was always going to go for Stone Cold, not DX. After the match, then basically Michaels was basically pushing Tyson and about to hit him. Tyson just knocks him out, and basically that's the end of Shawn Michaels for 4 years of wrestling, for basically over 4 years. So obviously the long road to recovery begins then for Michaels after this. But overall, the match itself was absolutely pretty good. I thought it was good. The crowd were into it, so I'll give it 4 stars. So overall, I thought the pay-per-view was, in all fairness now, it was solid now, to be fair. It was very solid. Like, there's 1 or 2 matches that you say to yourself, yeah, why the fuck are they on this card? Probably the 15-team Battle Royale shouldn't have been in it, but sure, that's WWF for you. They're obviously trying to get people onto this card. You can't blame them either, but still, it was overall a decent, good show. As I said at the start of the show, at this video, it was very underrated. Definitely in the top 10 of the great WrestleMania. So my next review will be WWF Unforgiven in Your House, which hopefully could be by the end of the week, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm just going to start watching the Raws, building up to it, and then obviously watch Unforgiven, and by then I'll hopefully have the review up by next week. So I'll talk to you soon.